For so many CPA firms, real growth can feel like it's just out of reach, completely blocked by this huge mountain of administrative work. But what if you could turn that mountain into a launch pad? Well, today, we're going to dive into a really powerful strategy that does just that: strategic outsourcing.
Okay, let's be honest. Does this question hit a little too close to home? You got into this business to be a trusted advisor, right? To guide your clients through really complex financial decisions. But instead, you look up and your days are just gone, consumed by repetitive administrative tasks.
And look, if you feel like you're on the treadmill, running as hard as you can but not actually moving your firm forward, you are definitely not alone. This is a huge pain point across the entire industry. It's a cycle that can burn out even the most passionate, dedicated teams.
So let's just call this what it is: the CPA workload problem. Because let's face it, being too busy with all the wrong things, that's not a badge of honor. It's actually an anchor holding your firm back from what it truly become. The real cost here, it's not just the hours spent on payroll or accounts payable. It's the opportunity cost. Every single minute your highly skilled CPAs spend on routine paperwork is a minute they are not spending on high-value client strategy, building relationships, or developing new business.
So how in the world do you break this cycle? Well, the answer lies in a strategic outsourcing solution. And I want to be clear, this isn't just about offloading work. It's about fundamentally redesigning how your firm operates so you can get maximum efficiency and, most importantly, growth.
And this is where it gets really interesting, right? The transformation is it's night and day. On the left, you've got the before state. Your firm's gears are all clogged up with admin tasks, which leads to errors, hiring headaches, you name it. But then on the right, you have the after. The gears are running smoothly, your team is laser-focused on strategy, accuracy is way up, and you can scale up or down whenever you need to. It's a total game changer. So the crucial thing to get is that this is a strategic move, not just a way to cut costs. Yeah, you're definitely cutting down that admin burden, but you're also getting this incredible flexibility. Need to handle a huge surge during tax season? Boom! You can scale instantly without the pain of recruiting. Need some niche payroll compliance expert? You've got access to them on day one. Okay, let's tackle the two big elephants in the room that always come up: control and security. Are you going to lose control? Absolutely not. A good partner works as an extension of your own team, following your processes, your way. And what about data security? Look, reputable firms live and die by their security. They use top-tier encryption and compliance protocols to keep your clients' data locked down and safe.
All right, so if you're thinking, okay, this makes sense, the next logical question is, where do you even look for a partner? Well, more and more, the answer is India. It's become a global hub for really high-quality accounting support services. Let's dig into why that is.
This table really breaks it down for us. First, you've got a workforce that is incredibly skilled and, importantly, trained specifically in U.S. accounting standards, like GAAP. Then there's the significant cost savings, of course. But honestly, the real game changer is the time zone advantage. Your firm is literally productive 24 hours a day. Work gets done while you sleep, and it's sitting there waiting for you in the morning.
All right, so we've talked about the why and the where. Now let's get into the what. What exactly are firms outsourcing? The key here is to start with tasks that are high volume, routine, and super time-consuming. That's how you free up your team for what really matters. So if you look at this chart, you can see where most firms start. The lion's share, about 40%, begins with payroll services because it's just so complex and high risk. That's followed pretty closely by accounts payable, which can be a huge drain on your team's time. Bookkeeping and tax support are also prime candidates. We're going to do a quick spotlight on each of these.
First up, let's talk payroll. This is so often the first thing firms look to outsource because it's just so much more than cutting checks. It is an absolute minefield of compliance, and if you get it wrong, the consequences are serious. When you outsource payroll, you're delegating all of this messy stuff: the complex tax filings, managing all the different deductions, generating the right compliance reports, and handling that endless mountain of documentation. Just getting this off your plate is a massive win.
Next up, accounts payable, or AP. This is a classic death by a thousand cuts department. It's where the sheer volume of all these tiny repetitive tasks can just overwhelm your team and grind your whole operation to a halt.
I mean, just think about all the moving parts here. You've got manual invoice entry, the back and forth emails with vendors, processing all the payments, and then reconciling everything. Outsourcing this to a specialized team means it gets done quickly, accurately, and on time every single time. Now for the foundational work, bookkeeping and reporting. This is the bedrock of everything you do. It has to be perfect for anything else to work, and it's another area where outsourcing can give you that consistency and accuracy that all your high-level advisory work depends on.
When you outsource these routine tasks, you're making sure your books are always accurate and always up to date. And that means your internal team gets these beautiful, clean, ready-to-use financial reports that they can immediately use for strategic client conversations.
And finally, let's talk about the big one, tax support. This is where firms often feel the most pressure, especially during the absolute chaos of peak season, when the deadlines are tight and the stakes are incredibly high. By outsourcing the heavy lifting of tax prep, compiling all the documents and actually preparing the returns, you can completely eliminate those bottlenecks. This lets your senior CPAs focus on high-level review and tax strategy instead of getting buried in paperwork. Okay, so you see the benefits, you know what you can delegate, but how do you actually get started? It's way more straightforward than you probably think. Let's just walk through the roadmap.
So here it is, your 5-step path. It's pretty simple, actually. First, just identify your starting point. Payroll or AP are always great candidates. Second, vet your partner carefully. U.S. compliance experience is totally non-negotiable. Then, you just define your processes, integrate your tech stacks so everything flows seamlessly. And finally, monitor performance to make sure the quality is there. It's a structured, effective way to get going.
This quote really sums it all up for me. This isn't about saving a few dollars here and there. It's about investing in your firm's future by freeing up your most valuable asset, your people, so they can focus on growth.
So the final question is really for you. Just pause for a second and really think about it. What new services could you offer your clients? How many more clients could you actually serve? What could your firm truly achieve if you finally got off that administrative treadmill for good?